So, hi guys, this is Navdeep from Delhi Immigration Services. Today we have Mr. Gaurav Pandey with us. Mr. Gaurav has got the visa approval after two refusals, and he has got the visa for Masters in Business Administration program at Brock University. So, we'll just talk to him and see how his journey was and what his profile is, and how he came out as a successful candidate. So, Gaurav, can you tell us something about yourself, some background, and also about the refusals, how it happened, and yeah.
Yes, so hi everyone. My name is Gaurav, as Navdeep mentioned. So my profile is I completed my graduation from University of Delhi in 2016, and my IELTS score was 7.5. My academic score was it was pretty good. It was above average, if I can say that. My IELTS score was also pretty good. It was 7.5 and not less than 6.5 in any of the modules, and I worked as a business analyst for a multinational bank for 2 years. So after having the required experience, I decided to go pursue studies from abroad. So since I had a fairly okay profile, and there was not any gray areas according to me, so I approached a consultant in New Delhi, and they guided me to choose this course of a course in financial services. So I went ahead and I applied. I got the offer letter. And then I applied for visa. And
I'm sorry, can I interrupt? Like, for which precise program did you apply for
yes,
the
I
first time?
applied. Yes, I applied for financial services at Thomson Rivers University, and I got two refusals for that. Okay. So, when we got the refusal, everyone was like, they could not comprehend why I got the refusal, because everything was okay, everything looked okay. There was no problem in any area. So, after the first refusal, I went to my agent, and without actually doing any homework, he said just, okay, you have so many documents, so we'll do one thing, we'll apply offline. And I was trusting my agent to do the whole research. I was basically trusting my agent that, okay, he's the expert, let him do his work, let him give him his space to work. Okay. So on the very next day of the first refusal, they applied on for the second time, but this time it was not online. They chose us to apply offline. So uh, again, within couple of days, I got the same result.
So,
That is
so,
when.
so sorry to interrupt. Were the refusal reasons were same in both the refusals?
Yes,
Or
exactly the same. Exactly the same. Exactly same reasons. Nothing new.
do you
Uh,
remember what was the reason basically?
yes. So first reason was they were not convinced that I'd leave Canada after completing my education, which is pretty generic. And the second reason of refusal was the course that I chose was not really aligned with. It does not really go along with my profile. So, I mean, I could not comprehend. No one could comprehend why they are saying that the course is not matching with your profile. Since I was working in a bank, I also studied economics in my majors. No one could comprehend what was going on. So I thought, okay, maybe now I should start doing the research. And this is one thing that I could guide to every student who's struggling or who's going to apply for the first time. It is very important that you do your own homework. You study I mean, you understand the process. It is fairly a simple process if you understand how it works. It is really simple if you understand how it works. So I did my study. But even after doing my research, I could not come to the conclusion that why are they saying that this course is not matching with your profile. So that is when, after doing a thorough research, I came to know about you. I saw your videos, and I saw very good feedbacks over Google as well. So that is when I approached you. And even when you listened, when over a phone call, you said there should not be any problem, but okay, send me your profile and I'll give you a case analysis. So in that case analysis,
Yeah,
it
let me
was
ask you a question. I'm sorry for the
no
Yeah, I'm
problem.
sorry. So for this program you applied on your own, right? So because you mentioned after two refusals you did your own research. So did somebody recommend you to go for this program, or you chosen like on your own? How was the case? Like
Yeah,
that decision
yes.
you taken on your own.
Hmm. So after two refusals, I was very sure that okay, I'm not going to go the diploma way. Although there's no problem if any student is going with a post graduation diploma, it's completely their choice. But from feedback from my family members and some from my workplace, they suggested that this is a good school. They offer a very good program, and not only Brock. I was looking for MBA opportunities from different institutions as well. But I finally decided to go with Brock. But so after our phone call, you contacted me over email and you provided a complete case analysis of my case. And after that case analysis, I was convinced that okay, my course selection was not correct, and probably I relied way too much on my agents, my previous agent. So, and from the very beginning, I must say that you were very confident about my profile. And although I was not, because see, when you have two refusals, and this is what I can say to anyone, any student that is struggling out there, do not give up. You need to work on the concerns that is raised that could be raised by immigration officers. You just need to address that problem. As long as you are honest in your profile, as long as you address the problem, there should not be any problem. Yes.
Right, right. So I appreciate your research because you are, well qualified and you worked as well in MNC. So
Mm.
obviously have the, comprehensive sort of understanding how things work. But I understand in the first place, like you relied and you trusted the agent completely. So yeah, the first program which they selected or which somehow got selected, that was like because you mentioned you already worked as a business analyst. So PG programs mostly prepare the applicants possibly for the middle level positions. So I
Mhm.
think you were already you were already working or have had work, at the same sort of a profile. So,
Mhm.
I was also convinced that, okay, this program may not take you to the next level.
Mhm.
So, because you already had, chosen the MBA program that anyway would prepare you for the senior level management position. So that really made sense. So, yeah, the third time it was only like we had to do the right thing precisely. We have to present the application in a way that so that it will make sense precisely to the officer. So
Mhm.
it worked out. Yeah.
Yes.
So, as you mentioned, like every student who may be sailing in the same boat has to, do thorough research on themselves because it's nothing like rocket science. I mean, anybody can understand. It's a simple sort of a process. So my question to you is like, you have seen two refusals, you have seen the third one. So what difference were you able to find out? Like what exactly we did differently in the third one?
Okay.
Maybe in terms
So
of process.
yes, yes. So when I came to, I saw work from two agents where our goal was the same. I wanted to get the study permit. When I was collaborating with my previous agent, and when I collaborated with you and when I approached you for my work, there was a contrasting difference. Definitely, there was a contrasting difference because even when you continuously assisted with me with statement of purpose, even state. I'm not talking about other document that are essential for the process. I'm just talking about SOP. That SOP that you helped me with, it was very clear. It was very clear. The goal was very clear. Everything was in connected. Everything was described. Every concern that was raised before was addressed. So it was very clear. So when I applied for the second time, what my previous agent did, every document was same. No changes were made. It was just the change in mode that was made online from off to offline. That's it. So when I approached you, you did a complete. I think you refined every document, you refined every article that we wrote, and that is I think that was the game changer for me. And I must say, documentation. I was so happy with the documentation. Documentation it was almost immaculate. I'm so happy that I approached you guys.
Thank
And
you.
one
So
thing more, you know, this is for students who are watching this or who will watch this later. Uh, I cannot emphasize how important it is to approach the right guy for the work or right institution for the work. That is of paramount importance. It is as important as choosing a right cause. So, okay, I think you're
yeah,
going to say something. Mm.
I appreciate your advice to the students because there are a lot of students who are again sailing in the same boat. Maybe two refusals, three refusals have already happened, so they are reluctant to trust anybody because we don't know who's trustable, who's not. So who is gonna take us over the line? So it becomes very difficult also to make that decision after two, three refusals. But if you do your own research, you gather sufficient knowledge to find out somebody who can actually help, or maybe you can find some useful information which can help you to apply on your own as well. So that decision I understand is somehow takes it becomes really hard to take that decision, to be honest. So I appreciate you and your support also throughout the process. Like you were pretty much supporting in everything, like whatever questions we asked, whatever documents we asked for. So you were always there. But anyway, your profile was good. It was just we have to uh, help the visa officer to make the positive assessment, to be honest, because
Yes,
we just had to present the application in the best possible way so that it could be approved. So
yes.
congratulations to you once again.
No,
And
congratulations to you as well. It was,
and
I
how's
could, I cannot, I mean, it's a joint achievement. It's not a solo achievement.
and I want to ask you about the reaction of your family because I understand your father was concerned a little bit about
Yes,
this.
yes. My
So how is he?
Yes, my father was very concerned that since students are not getting updates, they applied in March, they applied in April. I applied, I think we applied at the end of May, 29th May, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, normally my father would ask me, okay, how much time do they take? What is their standard SLA? So I said my father, forget about standard service level agreement that they usually follow. These are unexceptional circumstances, and there's certain hint of randomness in the air. There's no doubt about that. But uh, so any parent would be worried. That is the obvious. That is like stating the obvious. But what my I mean, this is what I can say to any parent who is out there. If their student, if their child is facing rejections, please, uh, you know, when I faced two refusals, even though my profile was fairly okay, I had many sleepless nights. I'm not going to shy away from admitting that I had many sleepless nights, and I was so tense. But this is one thing that any parent could do. They could support their child, and my family have been by my side from through thick and thin. I must say that my father, although he was very worried, but he always said that don't worry. If nothing happens, we will still be there for you and we'll still support you. Don't worry. So the least that any parent could do is, instead of sometime it's understandable that they might get worried, and they might act out of nervousness, and they could say something to the child which would negatively impact the mindset of a child. So I would urge all those parents that please, uh, that child is already going through a lot. Please do not be harsh on him. So instead, try to be supportive, like my parents were.
That's great. That's amazing. So now you have got the AIP at this stage, like the first stage approval. So I understand second stage approval is still pending, but given your profile, because you already applied twice in the past and there were no issues with the biometrics, no issues with the PCC, there are no issues with the your medical. So it is highly likely that you're always you'll get the approval, final approval as well. So you can be confident about it. That I can assure you. So yeah, I mean, have you started studying online already? Like, I think your classes have
Yes,
already started.
yes. And this is one thing that I could again add to my fellow study mates or fellow students. So I started my course on August 4th, and like any other student, I was very worried that okay, I mean this is I mean I'm paying significant amount of tuition fees. Why would I want to study online? But then again, we have just one intakes, and even now, after studying for almost close to 3 weeks, uh, I think I chose to, my decision was correct to pursue my education online for the time being, because I don't see much difference in quality. Obviously, that I cannot be in that infrastructure, or I cannot be in that atmosphere. That is the point. But as long as the quality of education is concerned, they are doing their best. They are absolutely doing their best. And I think I have learned so many things in past 3 weeks. Even though my education is online, I have learned so many things. So any student who's having any doubt whether he should study online or he should defer his intake, please, ultimately it's your call. But I'm who's someone who's going through this experience and having felt what it's like to study online, I can say this: uh, you should take the chance, because it's really worth it. And anyway, you'll have you if you do not, if you defer your intake, then you'll in a way you'll be wasting your time, unless and until you are doing something that is productive. I wasn't doing anything that was very productive, so I chose to go with this. So any student who does not have any better things to do, I think he should go online. He should definitely continue his studies. And also at this second stage, I mean, if you are starting your studies online, it will send out a good impression to the visa officers as well. That is something to keep in mind.
Right. So that was basically my second question you've already answered. But I really wanted to ask, like, what sort of challenges you are facing? You mentioned that it was a good experience studying online, but
Mhm.
are there any challenges also you're facing, maybe because of the time difference, like anything
Yes,
like that?
definitely there are challenges. There are no doubt about that. And even my program is very intensive. I have a MBA program which is very intensive. We have so many assignments to do. So the challenge, and there's no problem with the timelines, because what they're doing is, instead of having multiple classes on the same day, they are having a rather a couple of classes, which would fit the time zone of everyone. No one would have to wake up at extreme hours to jump into the class and attend the lecture. So as far as the timeline is concerned, there is no problem over there. The only concern is, I mean, so many assignments, but if I was in Canada, I would have a much better support from my classmates, which is currently lacking. But at the same time, we are also we are, I mean, I've been giving so many group assignments that now when I'm not doing anything, I'm on Teams. I'm communicating with my team members, who are my classmates. So I'm getting to know them as well. And in the first week, I could not get help from anyone. I was doing everything on my own. But from the second and third week, I think classmates are really very supportive, and they are really helping. We are all backing up each other.
Okay, so are all the classmates like from India or they're from other countries?
Mhm.
How's the
Yes, so I have like three classmates from India, two from North Africa, So and couple of students from Bangladesh, and just one student from Pakistan. So uh, students from all across the globe,
Yeah.
not just
It's
India.
going to be a good experience for you as well.
Definitely.
So yeah. So okay. So lastly, like, would you like to add anything again for those students? Any one piece of advice before we end this? Like
Yes. So
students who
yes.
are struggling with the refusals and not able to figure out. Yeah.
Yes. So any student who's struggling with refusal, it's like I said before, you need to back yourself up. You need to look at the reasons for refusal. You need to do a case analysis. Okay, this is what I have got. What could be the potential reason why I could not convince the visa officer? If you work out those problems, there will be no problem. But the most important thing is you need to believe in yourself. You need to trust in the process, because the immigration laws are very, it's black and white. There are no gray areas. It's everything is clearly defined. You just need to follow that code, and I think you'll be good to go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
But most importantly, you need to trust yourself.
That's appreciable. Thank you so much for the advice. And I wish you great luck in the future for your program, for your success in Canada, and later on your future plans, endeavors. And I'm so happy that your family is really, really happy with the decision. And because I still remember when we contacted. Obviously, I remember your father had some sort of apprehensions, but I'm really, really happy that finally they're happy for you and for the entire family. So all the very best to you in the future.
Thank
In case of any other more questions, if you'll have, you're most welcome to contact anytime. You know the ways. So all the very best. Would you like to add something like at the very end
Yes,
of
yes.
you just said?
I'd like to add something. So this is something that you did not ask me to say. I mean, these thoughts are my own thoughts. Okay. So I mean, trust me. This is for students out there. Trust me. I have been to so many agents, and agents with huge clientele, and trust me, they do not know the work. Even after studying different areas about immigration, it's safe to say that I knew more than them, those consultants. So please work on yourself, do thorough research, and just do not go to any agent, because few agents have very large client base, but they they are so commercially driven that they do not pay attention to the students. But since coming to Delhi Immigration Services, I was very relaxed, since I knew that the kind of attention that you were giving me, the kind of dedication that you were showing, it was really very impressive. And just a piece of advice: if you have any doubt, feel free to reach out to Delhi Immigration Services. And mind you, I'm not getting. Navdeep had not asked me to say something like this.
Yeah. So can I also ask, like, how did you find us? Did somebody recommended you? How was the case? How it happened? Did you?
So yes, it's a very funny story, because I would not name the institution, different immigration agencies. They all have very good ratings on on. Surprisingly, they have very good ratings on Google. I don't know how they do that, but I think deep down we all know how it works. So I saw your videos, and I then I read reviews on Google, and I contacted few of your previous clients as well. Like,
Oh,
I wanted to I needed their personal insight. So how do you guys work, or is it same like any other company, any immigration company? And after getting their insights, I was convinced that okay, this is the right way to go. So essentially, by YouTube and Google, I got to know about this agency.
all right, all right. Hopefully worked out very well. So I mean, it has worked out really well.
Has
So
worked out. Yes.
so happy, yeah, happy for you. Anyway, thank you so much for coming here and talking to me. I wish you great luck again in the future. In case of any sort of questions, you're most welcome to contact us anytime.
Yes,
So
yes, I
yeah,
will, I will, and thanks to you, Navdeep.
thank you to you as well for your
And
support throughout the process. Yeah.
thanks to you as well as your team. I mean, amazing job.
Thank you so much.
I'm really glad that I came to you guys, and I'm so pleased. I could not, my words cannot express how thankful I am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the appreciation.
Okay.
So, all right. Thank you for coming here talking to me. I really appreciate your words and appreciate your advice that you have given to the students. I hope they'll be able to implement it in their own circumstances. Hopefully, they'll be able to come out of the concerns that they have. So, I wish all of them also all the best, and to you all the best. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, Nandip. Thanks a lot.